of course. When you spot, a building, just claim that you're from there. But with us in the studio, of course, right now, we're joined by City of Johannesburg Tourism Public Relations Manager, Ms. Laura Vercueil. Vercueil, did I mention that correctly?
Yes,
is it?
Fine.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Laura, now, this is huge for South Africa. Whenever we hear that big stars are coming into the country or shooting on location in Johannesburg, it's a big hoorah. It's a big achievement for us, and we feel very honored. But what does this mean to South Africa?
Well, I think it's phenomenal for South Africa. Firstly, if you look back and see how the Hollywood movie industry has helped to market not only American locations, but famous cities all around the world, and you can liken that to this. The last Marvel movie, the last Avengers movie was seen by 200 million people globally. So we're hoping that this one will be seen by even more people. It'll be more of a blockbuster, and that just brings home to you how many people will be exposed to the city of Joburg, because it's part of the storyline. And as you said, key sequences were filmed in the city. So when you see the Hulk and Iron Man having their major showdown, you will see glimpses of the Russick Street Post Office, the Legislature building, which is our old City Hall. You even see a beautiful skyline view of Joburg as they kind of fly into land and have this big showdown of good versus bad. You see the Monte, and there's about 10 minutes of action sequence which happens in our city, and it's part of the story. So I think it's phenomenal, that Joburg is enjoying quite a surge in sort of international popularity at the moment in terms of people thinking it's such a cool place. Yeah. So I think this just adds to the whole roller coaster ride of taking Joburg to the world out there.
That is so exciting, Laura. I can't even emphasize it enough. But I understand the launch, of course, is on Wednesday, the 22nd of April.
Yes.
Who is invited to the launch?
Well, from our perspective, it is obviously everyone who is involved in the movie from the city. We had a lot of city departments involved in facilitating the whole shoot downtown, and then Disney and Marvel are inviting their chief executives, and then it's local celebrities as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any of the big stars because it's a CGI sequence, so it was all computer generated. They used our backdrop as a city, but then all that sort of the Hulk and Iron Man, that's all computer generated. It's not physical actors, but it's done against the backdrop of our city. And when we sort of alerted them to the fact that we don't have a major star, they said, well, Joburg is the cast member. So in this case, it's Joburg that's taking centre stage as the cast member for our particular launch. And and as I said, everyone else who helped to make it happen, the members of the local industry here. So it's quite a big collection of like over 1,000 people who will be attending the launch.
As you mentioned as well, that Johannesburg is the biggest cast member. What does it say about tourism and the exposure of our city right here in Johannesburg, being of course exposed to the rest of the world?
Well, I think it's important from two aspects. It's important from an economic benefit, because you have with these international movies being shot here, you have cast members coming over, people who are involved in the shoot, not necessarily the actors and actresses, but you have people coming here to utilize what we call our filming value chain, which is all the services associated with filming in Joburg, and at the same time also utilizing what we call our tourism and hospitality value chain, which is all the services and products associated with when you go and stay and work in a city, everything from hotels to transport, to restaurants, to insurance companies, to hiring equipment, things like that. So that's just on the economic benefit. But then on the marketing benefit, it really does expose people to see what the city looks like physically, and to sort of get that place name in their heads, that this is Johannesburg, South Africa, and sort of give you that kind of what we call destination marketing exposure that's so valuable, that everyone in the world is fighting for, some sort of airtime and airspace and that kind of recognition, that brand recognition. So, and our sort of marketing ourselves as a world-class African city, as you know, it really puts us out there as a brand on that huge international platform to hundreds of millions of consumers. So it's very valuable.
Absolutely. And just besides, of course, in terms of, movies and entertainment, how else is the city doing its best, of course, to market itself to the rest of the world?
Well, our marketing is something that we do inherently as part of our job at Joburg Tourism. We mandated to promote the city as a global all-year-round destination, not only for business, but for sports, leisure, lifestyle, fashion, design. Joburg really is a huge melting pot and a centre not only of commerce, but of many industries. So it's our mandate to do this on a continuous basis. And you do it through any platform that's available to you. Obviously, we attend a lot of trade shows and exhibitions, not only in South Africa, when we have a lot of people in the industry coming to our exhibitions here, like in Darwa or the World Travel Market in Cape Town, but also overseas on all the platforms that are made available to us through SA Tourism. We always partner with them and go on their road shows and their exhibitions with them as part of their stand. We have our own sort of Joburg section, as all the other destinations in the country do. And then we also take our city's credentials and market ourselves to film industry, for instance, at the Cannes Film Festival, because people there, the whole world is there marketing themselves as locations and destinations and places where you can not only film, but you can also come and look for stories and write stories. So it's, as I say, we have our tried and tested platforms and forums, but we obviously utilise any opportunity that comes our way to put Joburg's name out there.
Well, of course, Laura, we hope that we'll get our invite as well on the 22nd of April, so we can come there and witness the launch, right?
Yes.
Just putting her on the spot right now, making her uncomfortable. But thank you so much, Laura, for coming and joining us right here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for the opportunity, and I hope you all enjoy seeing this fabulous movie where Joburg takes centre stage in the fight between good and evil.
Oh, we can't wait. We definitely can't wait. Well, that was Johannesburg Tourism Public Relations Manager Laura Vercueil, of course, taken to us about the launch of American Marvel picture Avengers, Age of Ultron, launching next Wednesday at Monte right here in Johannesburg.